We're at the YouthSTEM event put on by the Catalyst Network Foundation at Google in conjunction with our partners. We're here for one goal. How do you get youth engaged around technology? That's what this event was. It was amazing. And they were learning from panelists who've been in their shoes, who are here, who look like them, who represent what they one day hope to be. Think about being a teen having access to just this wealth of knowledge, right? And a lot of times teens don't have the hidden networks. They don't have these connections that they were able to make at this conference. We had some gentlemen talk about data security. Someone talked about VR. All different aspects of technology.
A lot of students these days, they don't have access, and that's one of the biggest issues. Just being aware that they can do things like becoming a software developer, or they can create their own game, they can create their own application if they wanted to. Having students come here today is huge, the fact that they can know what's possible for themselves.
I'm really happy, to see my student to come to this text-based, so they could see the technology in action.
This event like Catalyst that kind of connects the soft skills or the other skills that they may not think of, or maybe their passions and their interests. And I think this kind of environment really opens their eyes up to see things a little bit differently. One thing that I heard the kids say was, if school was like this and we had these opportunities, we would be there every day, we'd be engaged.
Technology is going to be a part of their lives, and how can they get in on the ground, while they're still young, to be involved in shaping that technology and kind of being part of that wave, and just getting them inspired to be a part of it and be innovative and kind of be a driving force for it.
It's just important they understand there's a place for them and that they feel motivated. So it's a great event every year, amazing talent and really good other school reps, so it's fun to come to.
Today was very important to network, to make connections with people.
We're happy to get our message out there to as many prospective students as possible.
Any of the STEM sciences or disciplines can be used to the advantage of lawyers and their clients. Just trying to open the kids' eyes as far as all the different opportunities that they might not have thought of.
The students, they enjoyed it. They enjoyed all of the information, getting to hear personal narratives from the panels.
And I want to recommend everybody who's watching this video to come and learn a new experience.
I appreciate all these people that have these different events that can help me, build those stepping stones for me, for the future. Because although we are the present, we are the future as well.
All I can say is from the bottom of our heart, we're just so excited we get to put on this event. Thank you so much to all of our partners. I can tell you, I looked in the crowd and saw faces as the moderator. Kids, I saw the light bulb spark. It's from, I'm not sure if this is for me, to I can, I will, and it is possible for me to pursue a career in technology. All that was made by you at Google, by all of our partners. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. This really was a life-changing experience. All right, good morning. How's everybody feeling? All right, show of hands. How many people want to leave here learning at least one new exciting thing today? Okay, very cool. I see you, Courtney. All right, show of hands. How many people would like to make one connection that could positively impact you in your future today, right here, right now? Okay, fantastic. So as you guys know, welcome to the Catalyst Network YouthSTEM event at Google. We're so thankful to be here. In a few seconds, Jonathan's going to come, introduce the event, talk about our partners. But really quickly, I thought it'd be fun to do a fun activity. So does anybody here code? Oh, very cool. So I wanted to write a program real quick with humans. So I just need a couple humans to help me out. So can I get one human from over here? You raise your hand? All right, cool. Go ahead, come on. Okay, let me see, where can we get, Yeah, come on stage, come on stage. Fantastic. All right, you're from Medgar Evers. Fantastic. Let's get someone from back here. This young lady right here with the scarf. Give them a round of applause. They don't even know what they signed up for. It could be a trap door. Yeah, like I wonder what's gonna happen next. All right, so we're gonna write some code. All right, so this is what's gonna happen. I want you guys to create, what's an instruction that you want him to do, a command that, what's your name?
Junior.
That if Junior does, he will get whatever amount of money is in my pocket right now. Yeah. What do you want him to do for it? Do you want him to milli rock? Do you want him? Let's keep it humanly possible and that doesn't require years of training. What do you want him to do? Someone raise their hand. Let's write some code together. Huh? You want him to do 25? That's one idea. Okay. We'll vote. What else?
Yo, y'all really.
Want him to do the shoot? What do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? Someone said beg, 25 push-ups, beg. Anybody else? Clap his hands. This is ranging from difficulty from 0 to 100. All right, so raise your hand if you think you should do 25 push-ups.
Chill with that.
Okay, wow. Raise your hand if you think he should just clap. Okay, not as enthusiastic. Raise your hand if you think he should milli rock. Man, it's 25 push-ups, bro. I don't know how much.
I can barely even do push-ups.
All right, how many can you do? All right, if you can't do push-ups, then we gotta do something. I wanna make sure Junior feels comfortable. Let's do another one. Milli rock. All right, can you do a milli rock? All right. Just your best milli rock, don't worry. I can't milli rock either.
Bro, don't make me do this.
It's okay, man. Go ahead. I think it's something with a hand. Go ahead. Hey. All right, so wait. Now here's the problem. That actually was bad code because you didn't tell him how long you wanted to milli rock. How long do you want him to milli rock? 5 seconds. I think that was 5 seconds, so we'll give it to him. I appreciate. So you remember, one of the things when you're coding something, you want to be specific, right? So we have the action, the command, and we also want to have the duration of when does it stop. So because of that, you know what? I feel very excited. Junior, this is for you, man. It's $5. Give him a round of applause. All right. All right, you gotta sit. So we have our next contestant. What's your name?
Crystal.
And what school are you from?
Brooklyn Tech.
You gotta say it like you represent Brooklyn Tech.
Brooklyn Tech.
Okay. All right, I like that. She's like really like a sweet person. I'm taking it like all like extra. All right, so let's program some code. There's a couple bills in my wallet. We'll program some code and she can have one of them. So what should she do? What do you guys think? Shoot? Do you know how to do the shoot? Okay, she doesn't know how to do the shoot. The hokey pokey? Okay, cool. Google Home Surprise? Okay, cool. Huh? You said what? Give me something. Give me something. What should she do? Huh? Anybody from Brooklyn Tech want to throw in an idea? Right. Let's write some code. What should she do? Okay, a song. All right. Is there a song that you like? How long? How long? Let's snip it, right? How long is a snippet? To snippet? That's too long. I don't want to listen to anybody sing for 2 minutes who's not LMA right now. 10 seconds? Okay, so what's a song? Do you want her to choose, or are you choosing the song? Okay, so apparently this is like an artificial intelligent program who can choose their own songs for a duration of 10 seconds. So is there a song that you like right now that you can kind of give us? All right, so let's do it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed after twilight's last gleaming? I'm pretty sure I'm singing this wrong.
I got one more second. I got 2 more seconds.
And the rocket's red glare.
All right, so for that, we have a $20 bill. Wait. This comes with a condition, though. This comes with a condition. You have to spend this by today, and you have to spend it on at least one person other than yourself. So you can spend it, but you have to include at least one person who's not you. All right? Y'all out there like, hey, best friend, hey, best friend. You're like, I never even spoke to you all year. All right, what was your name again?
Crystal.
Crystal, round of applause, please. Man, coding is fun, isn't it? Well, you know, it's actually one of the more lucrative careers. So yeah, so when you do code, you do have an opportunity to get a career. So we're about to kick off. But before we do that, everyone do me a favor. I want you to turn to the person next to you, give them a high five, and say, you were awesome. Now, just to make sure everybody is in the right mood, I believe like how you start something is how you finish. It's important to start strong. Everyone, we're going to do a quick activity. I want you to take your hand. I want you to put it on the shoulder of the person next to you in a non-creepy way. I want you to take your hand. I want you to put it on the shoulder of your person next to you in a non-creepy way. Everybody got it? All right. I want you to look at that person in the eye. Some of y'all like, I can't make eye contact. You'll know all my secrets. All right, look that person in the eye. Some of you are like, am I falling in love? No, look that person in the eye. I want you to say, person, what's your number? No, don't do that. That's not the real activity. No. I want you to look the person in the eye. No, hand in a non-creepy, yeah. This is the real activity. I want you to say, person, times have changed, seasons have changed, people will change, but one thing will never change. I will always look better than you. All right, guys. Let's please give a round of applause for Jonathan Priester from Google, who's going to introduce this event. You guys are awesome.
How's everybody doing? Let's give a round of applause for Bert again. So good morning, everybody. My name is Jonathan Priester. I'm the Global Black Community Advisor here at Google. In that capacity, I work to make sure that Googlers, both internally and the external community, are connected to Google, to make sure that we have a partnership in the community, and to make sure that Google is a more inclusive and diverse place. So seeing all of you all coming from across the city really brings just a smile to my face, and give yourselves a round of applause. So, this is the second year that we've partnered with the Catalyst Network Foundation to be able to bring this type of event to you. And this year is even bigger than last year. So you're going to have a day that is going to be filled with networking, going to be filled with professional development. It's going to be filled with actual working on technical skills. And we have some of the leading corporations, the leading nonprofits, the leading organizations just across the tech space that are here to talk to you not only about the opportunities career-wise that they have at their particular companies, but to really make personal connections with you as well. We know it's a big jump from high school to college, then from college to figure out what your career is going to be. So we want to make sure that you know that you have mentors, potential mentors in the room, that you have potential sponsors in the room, that you have people who are invested in your success. So the thing that I want everyone to do today is be committed to the process, be present. This is a day outside of the classroom, but there's still an opportunity to learn. Everyone that is around here, you already looked to the left and to the right and told the person that you're going to look better than them, but the person to your left and the right is a talented person. That's someone that you have the opportunity to connect with. So we're going to have breakout sessions after this primary panel and workshop where you're going to have the opportunity to meet people who aren't necessarily in your school. You're going to have the chance to meet people that may not necessarily live around you or be close to the same borough. So use that opportunity. Take the time to not only connect with the corporations, connect with the educators and the vendors that are here, but also take the time to really invest in each other. Take the time to meet someone new, get connected on social media or LinkedIn or things like that, and really just make the most out of this opportunity. This is, as you can see, there's over 120 of you all here, and that is a unique opportunity. This is something that not a lot of people get to do and not a lot of students get to see. So let's give your teachers a round of applause for bringing this opportunity to you. Each one of your teachers took a lot of time to make sure that this was a reality. So we really want to, again, thank the educators. We want to thank all the partners. We want to thank all of the volunteers and Googlers and people that are here to really make the most out of this experience for you. We also have some prizes that are going to be thrown up a little bit later for people who have been engaged. So again, in terms of just a rundown of where the day is going to go, this is your opening session. We're going to go from here, and you're going to stay in this space, and then we're going to have a panel discussion where people are going to really just break down their career path, how they got started on their journey, how they are in the spot they are in today, and what are the things that you can start doing today to get on your own respective journey. After that, there's going to be lunch, but it's going to be what we call a working lunch. You're going to grab some pizza, and then we're going to go into little breakout sessions. Some of you will go straight into one of the breakout sessions. Some of the other groups will be going out into what will be our career fair space, where you're going to be able to connect with some of the leading companies, not only in New York, but across the nation. After that, we're going to come back in, we're going to have a wrap-up session, and then you all are going to be able to enjoy your weekend. But again, we really want to make sure that everybody here is committed to the process. You guys are, it sounds cliche, but not only are you the future, but you're the now, you're the present. And what you do today can really stand as a stepping stone for a bigger journey that you're going to be on. Does that sound okay? Cool. So I know we're doing some last-minute touch-ups on the next slide, but the next thing we're going to have is, again, a panel session. And I'm going to invite Bert back up to the stage, and we're going to introduce our panel. So thank you, guys.
All right, so really quickly, I just wanted to introduce Rashad from Catalyst Network Foundation. They're one of the many people who helped get this event going today. We're going to talk about the sponsors in a little bit, but Rashad, take it away. Tell us a little bit about the organization.
How's everyone doing? I want to do a little exercise too, really quick. I want everyone to tell me, when I say I can, I want you to say I will, I must, all right? So I say I can, I will, I must. I can, I will, I must. I can, I will, I must. I can, y'all can get hyper than that, all right? So the one thing I want you to realize today is that Priscilla Maddox, one of the founders of our institution, she was 95 years old when she passed, along with a good friend of mine, Laurel Jukin, started this organization in 2011. And that was kind of how Priscilla Maddox actually, dealt with everyday life. She was really inspiring. She was always pushing the limits, always talking junk to each one of us, and making sure, holding us accountable for actually making this organization a reality. So you have to always keep that in mind. You're always able and willing to be able to do whatever you want to do in life, right? She was an inspiring community leader. She was one of the leaders of the community, Brooklyn Borough community, and she really did a lot within the organization. So, and it's kind of, it's heartfelt for me to think about what she, that she passed last year. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. But CNF is an organization that's based out of New York and DC, and we do a lot within the community, working with schools, organizations, doing community workshops, do a lot within professional development and careers. So we're thankful for having all of you out here today, and we look forward to doing things in the future as well. We do a lot of corporate tours as well. We do every summer, there's a summer intensive workshop, either in Washington, D.C. or New York, so you can apply through your school principal or whoever the organizer is in regards to CNF. We have a lot of individuals that went through our program, over 2,000 that go through our career workshops and things of that nature within the two cities. So I'll give it back to Bert now, and thank you for your time.
All right, fantastic. So what we'd like to do now is I would just love for all of our sponsors to come up and just answer how their companies are currently changing the world, because that's really the work that we're here to do today. So if we can have someone from Google, Covington and Burling LLP, Aetna, Uber, Con Edison, and Goldman Sachs. If the representatives can please come up. Please give them a round of applause, all of the partners. Yeah, you guys can get on stage and just answer, just let the crowd know what is one thing your company is doing to change the world. So say your name, your company, and one thing your company is doing to change the world.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Harry Hayes, and I am here from Aetna. We are in the health insurance space, and as you know, healthcare can be very complicated right now. So one of the things that we're doing to change the world is to help each individual that we work with understand the healthcare system much better than they do today, and ultimately helping them to achieve their goals and the next best actions they can take as it relates to health.
Awesome. Clap it up.
Hi again, everybody. My name is Jonathan Priester here at Google, and I would say one thing that Google is doing to change the world is that we're taking the world's information and making it universally accessible through technology. So whether that be through our search programs, whether that be through Gmail or Google Maps, we're looking to take all the information that has been held behind gates and opening it up and making it universally accessible.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Sharif Balogun from Con Edison. So you all been seeing all the cars moving around New York City area, and that's what we do. We continue to provide you with a cleaner energy solution, right? So we're one of the largest utility company here in the United States that are actually serving major communities. So we want to continue to increase the efficiency when it comes to electricity, when it comes to gas, and when it comes to steams in a different, fashion. And having said that, without that, so again, my role here will even pretty much also have the opportunity in talking about different roles and what area we serve in terms of protecting different organizations. So I can currently work for CUNY, but in the section of information security, we continue to provide better solution and also protecting grid network when it comes to cyber threat.
Good morning. I'm Vinod, a software engineer from Uber. We are originally a ride-sharing company. Now we diversify and we are into Eats, Freight, Elevate. We are disrupting transportation industry. With a push of a button, you can get a car, or you can get a ride, or you can get a meal. So yeah, I'm here to inspire kids for how they can be a part of a revolution.
Fantastic. So you guys can exit. We're going to call the panelists. Oh, Vinod, I have one question. I canceled the Uber the other day. They charged me $5. Is there anything? No? Okay, all right. All right. Oh, yes, Covington, please. Covington and Burling, please. Yeah, just grab a mic.
Okay.
Use my, yeah.
Usually people can hear me. I've got the voice. My mom used to yell at me to lower all the time. Anyway, I'm with Covington and Burling. My name is Don Murray. I am a lawyer. Covington and Burling is a law firm. We've been associated with Catalyst for several years now. Very happy to be able to help provide whatever information, knowledge, guidance as we can. Some might think of STEM and the law as being immiscible. For you chemists in the field, that is, they're oil and water, they don't mix. But the fact is that today, I'll say later, STEM isn't a thing, STEM isn't a subject, STEM is the environment in which we live today. And there is every much a place in the legal profession for that as there is in healthcare information, as there is in construction, as there is in, as we'll see later, conservation. So this is a very important topic, and if I am able to leave one thought for all of you today, is that the STEM concept, that's how you live today and how you will live. And if you grab that in your brain and hold on to it tightly, you'll do very, very well. You'll be ahead of the crowd. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to get this slide away from my big nose, and we're going to introduce our panel. So if we can have the following panelists come up. If we can have Taylor Coburn, am I saying it right? Yes. From Google, please join us in the panel. Harry Hayes from Aetna. You're always sharp, even in that picture. Yeah. Tiara Christian from Google, if you can join us. We've got Kamaj Bailey from Con Edison joining us as well. Mahdi Sadkam Faroqi, All-Star Code. Did I not butcher that? Did I butcher? Good enough. Good enough. I'd like you, when you get up here, I want you to educate me on Sloan Markley from America Needs You. If you can join us. Okay. All right, thank you so much for joining us for our panel. First, what we'd like to do is we just want you to kick it off. Take about 60 seconds to say who... One last panelist. Oh, yes. Yes, Jessica Jiang from Goldman Sachs. Yes, please. Oh, no, right here. Yeah, we have a seat for you. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to have everyone just introduce just say their name, what department or what company you work for, and one reason that you think technology is important.
Cool. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica. I'm a full-stack web application developer at Goldman Sachs. Been there for 5 years since I graduated from college. I currently work in a team called ROI Engineering, which focuses on understanding how money flows in and out of our company. So we have about $2.2 billion of money invested in the technology industry, and it's important to know where that money is going, and it's a very quick speed, as you can imagine. Finance moves very quickly, and technology moves very quickly. So when you kind of merge the two together, you're at like a lightning speed. So one of the really cool things about technology at Goldman is that we have to worry about not just the performance of the technology, but also keeping data secure. We are dealing with client information, financial information. I'm sure none of you guys would want your information leaked, to the public. So we've got a very unique subset of challenges that come with using technology in our space.
Hi, Ollie. Hello, everyone. My name is Mahdi Shadkam Faroqi, so it's pretty phonetic. I'm the curriculum director at All-Star Code, and what we do at All-Star Code is we're basically trying to address this issue in the tech industry where there's a real lack of diversity. I'm sure if you can just rattle off some names of like some rich, famous guys in technology, they probably all come from a very specific demographic, and we're trying to address that. And so we have this thing called the Summer Intensive. It's a 6-week program that we're having every year. We've been doing it for 5 years, and basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to not just instruct our students in coding and programming, but also the soft skills, which are so vital. Raise of hands if you know what I'm talking about when I say soft skills, by the way. Okay, yeah, it's a weird name. It's also, I don't know why it's called soft. It's actually so important. So these are the skills that are like having a network and having a resume and being able to, basically, these are the skills that you need for basically any job. That is what we want our students to be taking away from our program, as well as the coding, because technology really is so vital. Technology is everywhere. Raise of hands if you have a cell phone or other kind of technology on you right now. Yeah, see, look at that, all these hands right now. Okay, raise of hands if you know how to program that cell phone. Not so many, right? Also, it's awesome that you can. the people who did, I want to be talking to you. So it's so weird that we have technology throughout our life. Our entire lives is in technology, but do we really know how to use it? How are we able to use our
our brains and have a career in technology. Yeah.
All right, good morning, everyone. So again, I'm Dr. Sharif Balogun. I've started working with CUNY about 3 years now. Again, started like you guys. My bachelor's degrees was pretty much more into programming, computer science. I love to program. And thereafter, moving to understanding the networking. So when it comes to network security, and thereafter, my PhD was focusing more into cybersecurity when it comes to risk management and also threat management. So bringing all that into CUNY, and what we've done at CUNY is to continue to see how we can protect our clients, our customers' data. So again, I'm going to piggyback into what two have just said in terms of all our data out there. So the number one question is, how many of us are all in the social media platform? 1, 2, in the social media platform. So Facebook, LinkedIn, right? What else? Snapchat, Instagram. Yeah, you've got Twitter, right? There's a whole lot going on. So. But again, and this is what we do, and this is what I do at CUNY, is to make sure that we continue to secure your data. Not your data, but the data that you're providing to CUNY, right? So a lot of people go out there, even there might be customers that are having business with CUNY and, doing a whole lot of things out there. So some of our customers, we do advise them, we do make sure that whatever data that comes into CUNY is being protected. And same thing goes with you also. The fact that we have all this, very good technology, different cool apps, you need to know how to secure your, all those applications. You need to know that whatever information that you put out there, once you put that information out there, does that information still belongs to you? Apparently no, right? You're giving that information to a server to keep it for you. So we need to encourage each and every one of us to practice what we call data minimization. Do not put everything out there. Whatever that that employers will be looking onto in the next 5, 10 years, right? You have to be very careful about that. And that's what we do here at CUNY. I do secure those data. I do advise people when it comes to phishing and, in a way that, all the hackers could get into CUNY. So we protect that environment, our environment, and making sure that they do not actually penetrate into our network.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tiara Christian, and my educational background is a little different. I got my bachelor degree in fashion merchandising some years ago, and then I received a master's degree in international marketing. So used to work in marketing in the fashion industry and worked on the creative side, working for my brand. And then later on, I got a call from Google to work with them and work with their big advertisers to make sure that they're successful on the YouTube and Google search platforms. And mainly, we deal with data, and how STEM really affects us is what you were speaking to, those profiles and that information that you give out from the internet and all the actions that you do across the web. We take those profiles and we create different, they're called affinities. So you may be a fashion lover or a movie maven or those kind of things. We create those and we retarget people with advertising. So I'm helping big brands make sure that they know how to reach you best and get their messaging across the board. And then also they give us feedback on YouTube and Google search and how it can improve. And then lastly, we work with YouTube influencers. Anybody familiar with some YouTube influencers? YouTube stars. We work with them all the time with our big brands and to make sure, again, that the messaging is relevant and that you'll actually be interested in it.
Hello again, my name is Harry, and so I'm Market Vice President at Aetna for New York and New Jersey. And what that means is I actually lead a sales team of people in New York and New Jersey, and we focus on large employers in the area. And we provide them with employee benefits related to healthcare, dental, and all the other things that you get when you go to work for one of those large employers. And so you might say, well, what does that have to do with anything related to what I'm interested in? But I've been at the company at Aetna for many years, and our job has changed from a sales perspective tremendously. So, for example, now when we go out to meetings with employers, we spend most of our time presenting health information technology capabilities. It's about how good is your app, how secure is your information, how quick are things processed, and when I go to the doctor and there's a claim generated from that visit. So technology is so so important when it comes to us being able to sell what we want to sell. And then, as you know, information security is vital, because you want your health, almost more than anything else, you want your health information protected. And it has to be secure. And so when we think about some of the technology, some of the people we have at our company, but also some of the companies that we work with, we have to be the best, because if we were to fall down in our responsibility of protecting your health information, let's just say the government and everyone else, this would be all over the news and everyone else would have something to say about it. And it could literally destroy our enterprise if we were not protecting the information that we have and that we hold for millions of Americans. So you may not think that a health insurance company or working in this space is something you might be interested in, but it's worth taking a look at, because there's so many opportunities within many different companies that you would never even think about being technology related. So thank you. Glad to be here.
Hey everyone, how are you guys feeling? Good, great. My name is Taylor Coburn. I work here at Google as a university program specialist, and what that basically means is I get to go out to colleges to talk about opportunities in tech and non-tech. I grew up in Baltimore, and I actually went to Clarkland University, which is a historically black college. University, hey. So if anybody's thinking about college, don't forget HBCUs are it. And I actually got come on, give me some love. And I actually got my BS in mathematics. So it's interesting that going to school and getting my BS in mathematics, I knew that technology was something that I was really interested in. So I pursued a career at Google, but the career I pursued at Google was actually in marketing and in sales, very different than what I was doing. So I'm happy to talk more about that in the future. But I know that currently, what I really want to do is make sure that students who are pursuing technology, computer science, mathematics, know that there is a place for you within tech, specifically for historically black college and university students. So that's basically my main focus. Thank you, guys.
Hi, my name's Sloan Markley. I'm the New York Program and Internships Coordinator with America Needs You. Have any of you heard of us? No, all right. So America Needs You is a nonprofit that focuses on the economic mobility of first-generation college students. Anyone in here, would you be a first-generation college student? Neither one of your parents have gone to college. Yeah, me too, right? Yeah, come on. All right, so our program, it's a 2-year professional development and mentorship program. So it provides you those soft skills that we talked about before, as well as hard skills, as well as matches you one-on-one with a mentor coach. So over the 2 years, you develop this really strong professional and personal relationship with someone who's gonna help guide you in developing those professional skills. And your question about why I think tech is important, tech is truly disrupting, for better or worse, the job market in every industry. So how do you best prepare to enter into that job market?
Awesome. Okay. So what we're going to do now, because I want every panelist to get an opportunity to answer some questions, and I want for you to have an opportunity to ask some questions, we're going to do a speed round. I have a couple questions that I'm going to ask of the panelists, and we'll probably take 2 or 3 responses, so we'll all play nice in the sandbox. If I have to shift and ask someone else's perspective, it's not because I don't love you, it's because I want to make sure I support everyone's ability to ask questions. After that, you'll get an opportunity to ask some of your questions. I have the crowd mic over there, the green thing, Google, it's actually a microphone. I will throw it into the crowd, you will catch it, you will ask your question, and when you're done, you will throw it back, gently. All right. So, I want to kick off, by asking a little bit about, because I know when we asked about coding earlier, about half people raised their hand, and you asked a great question about how many people can program the device in their hand. So, Mark Zuckerberg had this great quote where he talked about, in 5-10 years, they're going to be teaching coding like they teach English and math, right? And we're going to be wondering why we didn't do it sooner. So for those who may not be familiar, what would you describe coding? Like, how would you describe what coding is? Why do you think it's going to be important in the future?
I guess I'll take this one. I'm going to actually stand a little bit because I've been sitting all day. So why is coding important? So if I kind of think of like coding, and it's sort of weird because we all do a little coding if you think about it. So I cook, and I could describe to you how to cook the best omelet. Those instructions, that order is like an algorithm. So you actually know how to code. It's just translating that into a way that a computer can understand it. That's the difficulty. But you all have it. That computational thinking, that algorithmic thinking, is what's so important. And you can take that to any business, any job market, anywhere. And that's what I feel coding is.
Now everybody's hungry. I want you to know.
I'm sorry.
That's what's. So speaking of this idea that coding speaks to certain skills, Jessica, I'm wondering, when you look at engineers, what are some skills you think make a good engineer? Just in terms of like, are there ways that they think, or are there certain ways they approach problems or life that you think make engineers more successful?
Sure, absolutely. So I think all engineers kind of share the ability to be able to break down a problem, because that's really what it comes to at its core, right? You're presented with a problem that you need to solve, and typically the problem is something very challenging that you probably don't have an answer to right away, which is why engineering is so exciting. And from there, you kind of think about how you could break down the problem into smaller steps. So let's, take the example about making an omelet. Let's say you've never cooked before in your entire life. Right? So you've got to break that down and be like, okay, well, I know an omelet has eggs, right? So I've got to figure out how am I going to go buy some eggs. And then from there, you'd be like, well, I really like vegetables, or I really like bacon in my omelet. So then I need to go get that. And then you kind of need to break it down further to figure out how you would actually compile all of those things together and create the steps to actually develop. So those are the kind of problems that I think all engineers need to be able to break down and to figure out. And that's kind of the fun of engineering, is that you get this problem that you have no idea how to solve, and you've kind of got to break that down and then build it all back up together into a cohesive solution.
Awesome. So, by the way, lunch is being offered, so if you're getting as hungry as I am after the panel. So I wanted to stay in this topic of skill development. So one of the things that was really interesting that was announced was that Google said they're no longer mandating that you have a bachelor's degree when you're interviewing, right? Their focus is shifting to the whole applicant. So Sloan, I know you do a lot of training and development when it comes to the career side at America Needs You for the fellows. What are some ways you would recommend that, if I'm Simone over there, or if I'm Alex Ramos from Innovation and I want to build my skills, what are some ways you tell students to go out and build their skills even beyond traditional educational institutions?
Great. That's a great question. So number one, I think it is always important to focus on those like soft skills that they were talking about earlier. And those are things like that you can transfer to like any job. So like, how do you give and receive feedback, right? Email etiquette, managing up, right? So like, how do you talk to your managers? But in terms of tech specifically, of course, we always think the bachelor's degree, right, that's your first step, but like that's not the end, right? So how else do you go out and get the skills you need, especially for coding and computer science? I often tell my fellows, one, like follow your own like passion and innovation. If you think something is missing, there's an app out there that needs to be created, be the person that makes it, right? The options are limitless. So like be that person that goes out there and makes it themselves. Go to like as many hackathons that you can find. Go to coding boot camps. And like last, I would go to like anywhere you can, just like this event, and start networking with people. Network with people in that industry, because they know the skills that you need as well as like where that industry is going. So they're gonna be your support system and they're gonna help you develop the skills that you need.
That's awesome, thank you. And I love that you mentioned hackathons, because we have All-Star Code here. I know you're probably plugged into several hackathons. So make sure that you're going, when we go to the resource table, ask, hey, do you have any events coming up? Tell us about that 6-week intensive. Boys and Girls Club of Jersey City, where I'm at, we're hosting a hackathon to build anti-bullying apps next Friday. So have these conversations, begin to network. So, yes, please.
Awesome, thank you. Another thing that we talk about with like development, so as you know, we're not requiring a bachelor's degree, but a lot of the work that you do, even if it's not within coding, can be transferable. We talk a lot about transferable skills. So let's say you're in a role, or let's say you're doing something for a company in fashion, and you're selling some of the items that they have in fashion, trying to make sure that whatever you're doing in that job, you can speak to how they're transferable to whatever the role that you're looking to receive in the end. I think that's huge when you're trying to get a career or a business in any field, especially tech.
Awesome. I have a question just in terms of, so what stuck out to me, Taylor and Tiara, when you talked about your story, is there seemed to be a little bit of a transition of where you kind of started and then where you ended up. So what advice do you have for teens who may be trying to figure it out or are putting all their eggs in one basket in terms of figuring out that journey? Is it about knowing exactly 100% where you want to go from day one? Is it about adjusting? Like, what advice would you have for the teens?
I'll take this one. Try everything. Do as much as you can, because I'm still figuring out, and I'm always shifting, and I'm always open to change as well. So if I had this clear idea, because I know for a fact I used to want to be a fashion buyer, I got into the fashion industry, was like, yeah, this isn't for me. And then somehow I rolled up into tech, and it's been awesome. And I probably will never leave tech. So being open, trying everything, there was a point where I was set, career was good, and then I completely shifted, left full-time job, and became a contractor. So that's when you're working for somebody, you're kind of in, you're kind of out, but you're still there putting in the work. That was a big jump, but it led me to here, and you never know what could happen. And one thing that was huge for me, to the point of Taylor and the rest of the panelists, your network is huge. As a young adult, I was networking in high school, college, all throughout. That's gotten me a lot further than just my bachelor degree or my master degree. I actually can't say that I use it as much. It's a nice to have, but when it comes down to it, those transferable skills, how you're networking and how are you trying different things, because they look at that, and if they know that you are able to navigate through so many different areas and navigate successfully, that's valuable, because you can work in an ambiguous environment, which Google is often.
Awesome. Yeah, please, yeah.
And also adding on to that, there's this concept that Google has called like a 20%. It's where you spend 20% of your time working on a passion project. It could be something that's related to your organization, or it could be something that's completely different from your organization. When I was in high school and college, I wish I knew about this concept, because that's literally what you should be doing, is you should be taking 20% of your time, although you're really focusing on this thing right here. Maybe something sparked your interest at one moment. Maybe you went to a talk like this and you were like, oh, wow, that sounds like something I would be really good at, or a skill that I want to build. Try it out, test it, learn from other people, talk to people who are doing it. Like Tiara said, network, especially since you're in this room. The people around you are your network. This could be your own business right here. This could be who you're talking to create something. So never forget to put yourself out there. I know it's a little nerve-wracking, but put yourself out there and know your worth.
Fantastic.
Is it okay if I chimed in real quick?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
So this is something that I was, when I first started working for All-Star Code, I learned about this word, which I'm now so passionate about. It's called growth mindset. Raise your hands if you know what that is. Okay, so I want to see, one thing I want to see is everyone's hands up. So when I started out, I actually thought I was going to be like business and a business lawyer. So I thought business is money, lawyer is money. I'm going to put those together. I went to Georgetown, and it did not work out that first year. I'm not hating on lawyers or business lawyers, but it's just not for me. It's too boring.
Any lawyers in the room?
So I switched to biology, and I got my master's in biology, and now I'm working in coding. So it really goes to show that what you do in college is not like the end goal. It's not going to be where you're going to be necessarily in the end. So what is this growth mindset thing? I'm sure you've heard the term, give a person a fish to eat for a day, teach a person to fish they eat for a lifetime. Well, growth mindset is like one step above that. It's like teach a person how to learn, and they can learn anything. And that's the biggest takeaway from at least my experience in in college and growing up in life.
So I want to hear from the gentleman in blazers, well dressed. I have a question specifically for you, but if you want to touch on this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the most important thing when it comes to learning. So again, I'm going to piggyback to high schools and colleges, but especially in high school. Sometimes I think we're about 20 years behind technology, and that needs to change. By the time you go to college, you completed your degree, then you're applying for jobs. Then be like, okay, what's next? Oh, he doesn't have any skill set. I can hire you. You have nothing to offer. So that's the reason why you need to, right from high school, you need to go way beyond. okay, what are the required skill set? And they've mentioned different conferences or different places that you can go. If you know you're very good when it comes to coding, okay, start attending all these certification classes, schools, and see how well you can increase your knowledge base. Go to YouTube, so how do I code? Or what's the language out there? Again, technology will always change, right? Especially when this is an app today. There might be a better app in the next 2 years, way better than what you have right now. So you have to think outside of the box and way beyond what you're looking at right now. Again, when it comes to coding, my advice to you is always, start coding with the security mindset. And that's where the future is right now.
Awesome. So I have a question. So let's say I'm a talented high schooler like Courtney or my guy Bradley right there. I know eventually I'm going to run into some obstacles. So, Harry, if you can tell us, when you were thinking back to your high school, your college years, what's some obstacles you ran into and how did you overcome and persevere?
Yeah, great question, and something that definitely everyone will face. Just a little bit of background. So I grew up in a small town in central Indiana, and if you had told me then I would end up in New York City, living in Brooklyn, not far from Brooklyn Tech, I would have said, no way.
I just got a shout out. Y'all ain't make no noise.
I would have said no way. And along the way, there are a lot of challenges and obstacles, and some are very obvious and that we all kind of face, and then I think some are just very specific to you. But one challenge is resources are limited sometimes, and money can be limited as well. And so really mentally letting that hold you back can be an obstacle. You have to figure out your way around it, feeling like maybe you are at a disadvantage because this other person has had all of the wealth and resources, but maybe you don't have what that person has. Feeling like that is a limitation. For me, I had to get over that and learn how to really realize my potential and really realize what I can do despite not growing up with money, despite not having all the resources that other people had. And I think you said something, realize your greatness. How dare you not realize your greatness and give it to the world? That is important to remember as you go along your journey.
Realize your greatness. I love that. Don't be stingy with it. All right. So I realize a genius is in this room, so we're going to open it up to some questions by you. Yes. Oh, yeah. Here's the crowd mic. Yeah, just speak inside the...
What are some of the fundamental skills necessary to be a computer science major or have a career in computer science?
So the question, to repeat the question, she asked, what are some of the skills that are necessary to be a successful computer science major?
I could take that. Okay. So number one thing is this. In terms of, start looking into the way you solve problems when it comes to problem solving, especially you have to be very good at math, And again, if you have an average, that's okay. When you go to college, always try as much as possible, to get a tutorial that are required in making sure that you become a better programmer. So programming, math, physics, those are the two things, math and physics. It allows you to think outside the box. So for example, when it comes to word problems, okay, how do you dissect that problems? Okay, these are the steps I need to take in order for me to get to that answer, right? So start thinking outside of the box. The math has to be good. Your physics has to be good, and also engage yourself. Do not wait till when you take your SAT and you're able to pick the best college that you wanted. Start thinking about, okay, I think I like this program. What are the courses that are being offered in different institutions or different colleges? Oh, C++. Like maybe I'll start with C++. Or maybe I'll start with Python. Maybe I'll start with Visual Basic. Start programming little by little. A low world, right? How do I do my little math, programming into 2 + 2 becomes 5? Start understanding all this little, grabbing and understand those little skill set that's required for you to become a better programmer. And start challenging yourselves. And the more you do, the better you are. So when you go to college, you'll be ready to, get into to take any assignment that's been provided, and you'll be able to be a better programmer. Most of the programming that are taught in colleges are just the basic. So by the time you graduate from college, you want to be way better than what you've learned. So you got to go above and beyond. Do not just look onto the textbook and say, okay, I'm now a better programmer. No. And I'll give you a very good example, which I'm going to share. Okay, when I graduated from college, my undergraduate, I thought I was a better programmer. I said, yeah, I can program. During my internship, okay, they gave us a problem to solve, and I was programming almost 2 pages of programming code. And there comes another person who just wrote about half a page. And I said, wow. And his program was actually running way better, much better than the way of, much better and even efficient when it comes to programming. And another thing that I had to do was, okay, now what?
After this, we're going to go to Jessica.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to swallow my pride and enrolled in tutorial session to become a better programmer. And I'm glad I'm able to do that, and I've been doing, also using that skill set in writing different codes when it comes to mobile app security.
One thing I wanted to add is just being able to find your passion. I think when people think of computer science and coding, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. You do need to have a very strong skill set, but I think that when you find what you're passionate about, like if it's fashion or if it's sports or if it's athletics, being able to apply that to something that you love, I think will help to motivate you to learn faster. So like, for example, like I really, really love athletics. I'm a really big person who's into sports. So the first way that I actually learned to code back in high school was by creating my own like gambling website. I didn't go like public or anything, but for like my high school class, I was like, let's all like, vote on who we think is gonna win the NBA, because that's what I was interested in. And so it was my passion, but I applied technology to it. And I was really passionate about solving this problem. So even when I was stuck on a little piece of code, like, but this is really important because, this is a really big year for this team and I want this team to win. So it kind of helped to have a side motivation to kind of get me to the end goal. Because computer science can be difficult. There's always gonna be that one problem that sometimes you can't solve right away. But being able to find your passion and applying that to it will kind of help you through some of the difficulties.
Awesome. What was the team? Not willing to share? Okay.
I like LeBron, so I'm just gonna. I know there's.
Just follow LeBron. All right, I get it. I know that story. It's cool. All right, so we have a question over here. Is that University Charter over here representing? I like how high schools get a shout out and there's no noise.
How you guys doing? My name is John. I just got a question for. It's a question for everyone. It's about VR. How do you think it fits in today's society, and how will it shape the technology in like 10 years or so?
It's a great question. Anybody want to take a stab or a gather?
I would say right now, a lot of my clients are trying to figure out how to integrate VR into their campaigns and to reach people, because now the millennials are getting older and they need to reach Generation Zen, so Generation Z. In order to reach you guys and people that are younger than you, we have to be on top of technology and knowing that it's going to go the VR route. How do we do that with ads? The brands that can do it right, such as I know L'Oreal's doing a great job in Sephora, when you can actually like just put it on the skin and it shows all these different brands of exactly your skin type. Like, so they're trying to figure out ways to work with it now. I think we have a long way to go. Google's doing a lot in gaming. Gaming's huge for VR, as you know. That's a huge area for it. I think there's a lot more traction there than in the rest of the industry, but it's going to be huge in 10 years. And if you can start doing things now with VR and like programming, even having that knowledge, you'll be ahead of the game, like way beyond it.
I would even, in healthcare, it's even started there where physicians are starting to learn via VR. So there's a lot of different areas where it can be applied, some that aren't as sexy as others, but I know that it's going to be a big deal in the world of healthcare as well.
And then one kind of quick, looking from the mountaintop when it comes to VR, one of the things that we found is, we went from a product economy where it was about selling products to a service economy to now we're in an experience economy. And what you're seeing a lot of brands, offer is that experience. That's what people want. So for example, there's a bus in DC that is a VR bus. They have a VR component on the windows. And when you're on that bus, it looks like you're actually touring around Mars, right? So again, brands are being really innovative with how they use VR, but I think the important thing to remember is anything that you're doing now, you have to ask yourself, how can I make this a better experience for people? And I think that's where VR starts to play a role. So we have some more questions. Yes. This gentleman over here with the 360 waves. Get this man a brush. Right here. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just jealous. It was envy. I'm sorry, man. What's your name?
My name is Josiah.
Josiah, okay.
This goes for any of you. Growing up as a young adult, like a teenager, did you see yourself in this position at all, or did you have like a different mindset for where you wanted to go in life?
Maybe I'll take this one. I had no idea what I wanted to do in high school. Okay, I'm probably speaking to a crowd of people who are maybe in a similar boat. Because, like, isn't it weird for people to ask you, like, what are you going to be doing in college? What is your major? What are you going to be? What's your career? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to get my food and go home, play some games. It's kind of weird. So when I was in high school, I went to a small high school called Economics and Finance in Lower Manhattan. Anyone from there? Can I get a shout out? No? Okay. And, I thought, like I mentioned, I wanted to go into business and do some maybe business law because I was like, maybe money's where I want to be. I want money. I'm not exactly rich or anything. So, and biology was my backup. I took AP Bio and I had like a 4, so I was kind of good in it. And that was like my backup. So when I failed at law, I was like, biology, I got it. It's got to work. And luckily, it worked out for me. But I would say, like, don't think that you know how to, don't feel like you need to set the end goal. You kind of have like a good leaning, like, man, I really like this particular subject. I like math. I like, I don't know, is there anything else? History or whatever it is, you have a leaning towards it, but you might find out once you get deeper into that, like, maybe that's not what I really wanted to do, and then you explore things. So I think someone up here said, like, keep your options open. Don't feel like you need to commit to anything right now. It's not worth it.
Did I hear you say exploring?
Exploring?
Did you say that?
Exploring, maybe.
That's an amazing word. Like exploring and learning together.
Copywritten right there.
Can I steal that? Can I hashtag? Can we hashtag exploring? Can we make that a thing?
And to add on to his point, and to your question, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a marine biologist. I love the water, and I thought I loved water animals until I came in contact with some water animals and didn't work out. So I had no clue what I was going to do. I knew that, typical like American fashion, you go to school, you get a job. I knew I had to kind of fit somewhere in there, so I kind of had to figure it out. And going into college, I went into like general courses at first until I realized that, okay, I'm passionate about the fashion industry. I'm really curious. There's so much you can do within it. I want to be a part of that. And then I just kept learning and kept trying things. And then I found my way into tech. So had no clue what I was going to do or that I would end up at Google, but there's a way for anything to happen if you allow yourself to be open to it.
I'm sorry, I want to just chime in real quick. So one advice I would give, because I had to learn this the hard way, because there's this like understanding, like you go to maybe you go to public school, there's like this school of like elementary, middle school, high school, college. It's like a natural path, right? Because like the next step is like right there. It's not right there after college, by the way. There's no job lined up right after college. Okay, like that sophomore, junior, that sophomore, junior year, that's when you should be starting to look for an internship. So again, you don't need to commit to anything, but like start looking at least. There's no guaranteed job at the end. Just FYI.
Awesome. We have a question over here. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Simone. I'm from Innovation High, and I was gonna.
Innovation High, where you at?
So, what advice would you give to somebody who actually, like, all over the place, like, who is very passionate and ambitious, and everything? So, like,
asking for a friend? She's asking about herself.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, so you're already passionate, you're already ambitious. One thing I would add to the networking comments that you've heard today is do what you can to travel. And the reason I say that is because you really have to get outside of the world that you know and experience other things. And so if you're already passionate and ambitious and you take that on the road, you're just going to expand your network even further. And, and traveling can mean anything. It can mean, taking a train, across the country, taking a bus, taking a plane, wherever. But go to some place where you really never thought you would go and just shake it up.
Love it. We have Yeah, please, Sloan. Yeah, please.
So just to add on to that, I also think traveling is a great way to like push your boundaries. After college, I moved to South Korea and taught English there for 3 years. So I would also say, like, if you're passionate and you're driven, but you're not really sure where to put that passion, put yourself out of your comfort zone. Yes, right? It will help you realize like what you're good at and what you don't like, but also what you do like. Because what you really need to focus on is what are you actually good at? What skills do you have? And I think when you push yourself out of your comfort zone, like going to Korea and teaching was way out of my comfort zone. Like I do not like public speaking, but I'm here, right? Teaching got me here, right? So I think that's what you need to do is what will push you. Yeah.
Can I add one more thing? Finish something to completion. I think that a lot of people who like multiple things and are passionate about multiple things don't really finish one thing to completion. So make that a goal for yourself or whomever. I'm speaking to your friends. Make it a goal for your friends. And just have that person just finish fully that one, just at least one thing to completion.
I would also add, since Sloan is here, find a mentor. America Needs You. I think one of the best things that the and full transparency, I'm a mentor in America Needs You. So one of the best things they do is the mentors get matched with fellows, and the mentors connect the fellows with their network. So a lot of times, it's not about the pressure on the mentor to be the person that solves the problem, but the mentor could be like, oh, there's somebody at work, or there's another mentor who's got this connection. So you start to see people get internships and jobs and opportunities they would not otherwise have had, because the whole thing is about connecting ambition with opportunity. So I think you have a team here, and it does take a village. So thank you guys. All right, so we had a question back there. Is it Mallory with the question?
Hey, yo. Should I get up?
Go ahead, Mallory. Don't be shy.
Hey. I'm George Mallory. So y'all names up there, so I have to say my name too. I have a question for all y'all. How did you guys know, like, when did y'all find out, like, when did y'all want to get into technology? Because, technology wasn't around.
We're not that, well, I'm not that old.
Well,
That's hilarious.
let's translate. Hold on.
I love it.
Let me translate the question.
No, this is great.
All right. Let me translate the question. As you guys know, the rate that technology is increasing is exponential every 2 years now, right? So there's things that when you were growing up that, I'm sure that Musical.ly and all these things and maybe Snapchat, but, in some ways you guys have to kind of predict technology would be as big as it is, right? So a lot of this stuff is still native. So how did you guys really get passionate about technology when a lot of the stuff that's really taking over our lives is really in the last 5-10 years?
Yeah.
I can't answer specifically to tech, but what I think is important is I think it's good to maybe change your mindset a little bit, right? And I think people so often are like, I want to be in tech. I want to be in law. I want to be in finance. I want to be in business. And then that kind of gives you this like one-track mind. But I think it's more important, again, to think, what am I good at? What do I like? And then as industries change and new industries open up, maybe you realize, oh, that industry actually requires a lot of the skills I'm good at and that I like. So that's just one caveat I would throw in there. But for the tech people, how'd you know you like tech?
I just want to say that people still think I'm a student, so giving youth love over here. But I think that for me, it was just the creativity. I've always been a very creative person, high school, middle school, college. I've always done something in fashion, actually, producing fashion shows for Clark Morehouse and Spelman and things of that nature. So I've always loved creativity. I think that when I was in college, back in my day, it was technology was what was creative, right? Current. Yes? I don't. I know. Sad. But yeah.
Absolutely. When it comes to technology, when I was in high school, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, okay, what's out there? So, but the point is, when it comes to technology, I kept on thinking, I need to make an impact. So you need to have that passion. So once you have the passion, then you can do it, and that's the goal here. So I kept on thinking about, okay, that was actually in 2001. It started with 2001, and I traveled back and forth. Then, originated from Nigeria. Then I sat there and I kept on looking at, I don't like the way the transactions have been, done here. I think we could, make things a lot better than what I'm saying. Then, I kept on thinking, what will I do? Should I build an app? What will I do? I think there are a lot of things that are better than what I'm saying right now. And that's, I need to improve, thinking about how to improve on what's out there. So you need to make a difference. You need to make a big impact that will help your community, or that will even help the society. Then, coming back to college, then things started changing. Oh, I think I'd like to become industrial engineer. All right, I don't like this. What about a programmer? What about protecting our data? Then when my cousin's data was stolen in 2003, then that was an eye opener. I said, I think I'd like to become a security expert. I think I need to start thinking about how to protect our data, and that's where I'm at today, focusing on data security.
All right, guys. So really quickly, we have time for one more question. Then we're going to wait. Hold on. We have time for one more question, but don't be sad because we've got these fine panelists here. So after this, we're going to break into groups. And one of the groups is going to stay here just for some informal conversation with some of the panelists. So if you don't get your question now, you'll have an opportunity, whether it's right after or if you're going to be in the college fair, to ask them your questions. And some of the folks will be at their tables. All right. So.
Can we give some love to this side?
You know what? We haven't been this. You know what? Let's give this. You're right. Thank you. Let's give some love to this side. All right. I'm gonna need you to rock, paper, scissors because you're sitting next to each other. All right, this is intense, guys. Let's all watch it. All right, paper, scissors says shoot. No. On says shoot. Okay, rock, paper, scissors says shoot. Okay, rock, paper, scissors says shoot. Okay, rock, paper, scissors says shoot. Oh, okay. It was fair, guys. It was fair.
So we live in a world that kind of revolves around technologies that. Should I repeat that or something? Yeah, please. We live in a world that revolves around technologies that can be enhanced by AI. So what is your opinion on the future of it, and how will you implement it into whatever you do?
Artificial intelligence, AI. We still go back to coding. So number one thing that I've done, again, when I had an intern at Johnson & Johnson, and it was so fascinating. What I've seen is a so robotic, machine that is actually mimicking human intelligence by going back and forth and delivering message. So we call it a mailman machine. So it keeps stopping in a different department and start delivering different mails inter-department to different areas. And that's what it is. We need to learn. We go back to the basic skills of knowing how to code, right? So again, when you see all these machine learning, they are to mimic human intelligence and to process transactions, or a lot of things that human can do, right? Much faster, in many seconds, and that's the goal here. So you are the engineer. How can you program them to make sure that the AI is able to do things effectively? So again, go back to coding.
Awesome. So we're gonna wrap up the panel now. So I'm a big fan of quotes. I have them on my screensaver. I have them on my wall. Sometimes I scribble quotes. I would like every panelist just to share what is one quote that it's your go-to, you go back to. Everybody has one of those days. What is your quote?
I think mine's find your passion, because technology is not just about coding, it's about being passionate about something and applying the core skills that you know to whatever you're passionate about.
Be like water. Who said that? Bruce Lee, right? Everyone knows that quote. Just to be adaptable. That really is my life. So, and real life, I think.
And again, learn to learn. That's the learn to learn. You can learn something in high school, but you need to make sure you're learning what's being applied to you, what's been given to you when it comes to technology.
Mine would be a quote from Auntie Oprah. Create the life that you want to live. Like, you all are in a position to really design your life, and that is continuous change, figuring it out. We're all still figuring a lot of things out, but it's up to you to create that life and what that looks like.
Mine would be How Dare You Not Give Your Best. And I don't remember the author, but it's literally on my wall at home, and I look at it every day.
Mine is actually my school motto, find a way or make one, because it's literally what you need to do every day. If you don't have a way already clear, then you need to make one.
Mine comes from a very smart coworker of mine, which is just like, love yourself, because if you're not going to, who is? And that comes down to being your best self-advocate, right, in your personal and professional life.
It's okay. It's cool. I had a quote too, but it's all right. Can I share a quote? Is that okay? Can I share a quote? So my quote, I'm going to butcher it. It's by Maya Angelou. It's one of my favorite quotes. People won't always remember the things you did. They won't always remember the things you said, but they will always remember the way that you made them feel.
Be kind.
Think about it. All right.